Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Live at 4:45 on another snowy day in Montana. But just wanted to touch base, say hello to you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're getting some firewood in here today, and wanted to mention this. And a lot of what I say and what I talk about and what I bring up is stuff that is going on in my life, or what I'm contemplating or thinking about and studying on. And one of the things that hit me last night as I was on my phone, as I have a tendency to be on my phone every once in a while, depending on who you're talking to in my family, it depends on how much I'm on my phone. But my son came up to me, and I was on the couch. I think I was downstairs. My son came up to me, and he was talking to me, and I was on my phone, and I was listening. And he came up to me and was trying to get my attention, and I was listening, but he wanted my full attention. So I don't know if you have kids, but he has done this before, and I've noticed this before, but it really hit home last night. And he grabbed onto my face and turned with his hand real gently, but just turned. Dad, look at me, I'm talking to you, look at me, and I was like, I didn't really think of it at the moment, but later in the evening, I was reading something, and man, that hit me. That hit me hard. Here my 6-year-old son is, and he's wanting to communicate with his father, and I'm still staring at a stupid screen instead of communicating with my 6-year-old son. And it made me think of a story that just hammers me. So I'm going to share it with you in hopes that maybe it will just make us a little bit more aware of what we say, how we say it, and the realization that people are always watching. And the story goes like this. There was a family, a small family, a loving family, a family who was just getting started. They only had one child at the time, a 6-year-old little boy. And in the course of time, the husband in this relationship, the husband in this story, his mother had passed away, and his father was frail, and he was getting old and was needing more assistance. And he didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of places he could go. And finally, the husband and the wife sat down, and they said, you know what, I think the best thing for us to do is just to have him come live with us. And so they invited the father to come live with them, the grandfather, and he moved in with them. And that's always an adjustment. It always takes a little bit of time, but for whatever reason, they just were having a hard time with it. He'd come to the table at evenings, which was a special time for them, and it took him a long time to even make it to the table because he was frail and he was old and he could barely walk. And then he'd get to the table, and his hand would be shaking. He'd grab the fork, and it might have been peas or carrots or whatever it is, and his hand would be shaking. He'd spill his food on the table, and he liked having a glass of milk, but he'd grab onto that glass of milk, and as he was drinking it, that glass of milk would spill on that beautiful tablecloth, and the daughter-in-law were just you could see that she was not happy about it. And week after week and month after month, it just got worse and worse until finally, the husband and the wife talked about it, and they said, we just can't keep doing this. He's causing a mess. I just can't handle it. He's ruining all my tablecloths. We got to do something. And so the husband got a table, a plastic table, a fold-up table from the garage, and he set it up over in the corner, and he put a plastic tablecloth on it, and he put one chair over there by it, and he moved his father, the grandfather of his son, over to this table all by himself. And he said, this is where you're going to have to eat. We just can't have you messing up our dinner table like this. And he gave him plastic utensils, and he gave him a wooden bowl because they had broken silverware, they had broken dishes, they had broken glasses, and they were just fed up with it. So they gave him plastic utensils, and they gave him a wooden bowl, and they put him in the corner. And then they were happy, the three of them sitting at their table, where it was quiet, they didn't have to worry about spills. And yet, the little boy, the 6-year-old boy, the grandson, would look over occasionally, and he would see his grandpa over there in the corner with his plastic table and his plastic fork or spoon and his wooden bowl. And occasionally he would see tears running down the old man's face. But the mother and father seemed just fine with it all. And time went on, and that's where he went. And one evening, the husband, they had finished dinner, and it was a wonderful dinner, and it was a clean dinner, and they were all happy about it. And the wife was in the kitchen cleaning up, and the son was in the living room, and the father came in and looked down, and his son was playing with these pieces of wood that he had found in the garage, these pieces of lumber. And the father looked down and he said, son, what are you doing? It looks like you're building something. It looks like you're trying to create something. What are you doing there? And the 6-year-old son looked up with a innocent smile and with confidence said, Father, with pride, he said, Father, I'm making you and Mama a wooden bowl so that when I grow up, I can take care of you, just like you have been taking care of Grandpa. And that hit that husband and that father and that son hard. And he realized how he had been treating his father. He realized the example and the selfishness that he exuded to his young son. And he realized that if he wasn't careful, this is exactly what was going to happen to him someday. Because we all are at different stages of life. And we all have things going on. And right now, your kids might be out of the house. Your kids might be in diapers. Your kids might be, and you might not even have kids, but it's how we treat the people around us. And when I think about that, and I think about last night, and I think about my son trying to get his father's attention because his father is staring at this right here instead of listening to his 6-year-old son, it makes me realize that I need to get my priorities in order. And I need to make sure that people, no matter at what phase or stage or what position or environment that they are in, that people are a priority no matter what, that we treat them with respect, that we treat them with love and compassion and empathy, and that we make people a priority. That's my 2 cents for the day. Hope you have a good one wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Love it, live it, make it count. We'll talk to you tomorrow.